Hey, it's me V, and it's been more than 365 days since Honkai Star Rail's release. So you know what that means? Happy birthday, Honkai Star Rail. Thank you for keeping me entertained. But I think now is as good a time as any to see how far I've come. Now, I've been playing every single day since the launch of Star Rail, since day one. So of course, I am max Trailblaze level, and I am max Equilibrium. And in terms of like my collection, I have a pretty decent one. So as you see here, for 4 stars, I own every single one. Now obviously I'm not gonna own all the 5 stars, and I'm actually missing a good amount, but we'll talk about that soon. And then I have here light cones. I don't own all of them yet. I mean, you have I haven't explored the Penacony enough to unlock these for free, and obviously I'm not gonna really have all the battle pass ones yet. But the only 2 real light cones I'm missing are Landau's Choice and Luca's. But you might be seeing here right now, oh, I actually own like 2 of the battle pass light cones. But that's the thing. This is the thing I wanted to note about my account, right? Because before we look into my characters and their builds, before anyone says something in the comments about the characters I've built, specifically, I am a free character plus ice main. What do I mean by this? Well, the ice main part, I have Jinglu in her light cone, and I have Ranmei in her light cone. And the reason I bought 2 battle passes is because I wanted, as an ice main, as a dedicated hardcore ice main, I had to get their icons, because look at them. They're beautiful. But you might say, okay, maybe that's not free to play, but I still consider myself free to play because first of all, if you look at my light cones, the 2 battle pass light cones that I own aren't even built. Like, they're both still level 1. And I actually have a lot of wishes saved up because there hasn't been an ice character in a while, so I just really had nothing to pull, which is why I own so many of the 4 stars. I just started pulling for them. So it's fair to say that even if I got extra pulls from the battle pass, I don't even think I've used them, right? But enough about my collection. Let's just start getting into my builds. Cause like here, see, I got these other standard 5-star characters that are at level 1 because I'm not allowed to use them, because as like I said, the personal challenge, I can only use free characters. I don't want to hear it in the comments. I am restating that again. I am making that a clear point. The reason I have Blade, you know, another featured character, is because I pulled for the 4 stars, so eventually I'm just gonna get some other rando character that isn't ice. But yeah, let's see, like I said, I have Jinglu in her light cone and Ranmei in her light cone. Their builds, you know, Ranmei's Harmony, nothing too special. I mean, I run Penacony Land of Dreams because as an ice main, that really helps Jinglu. I usually use them together. I don't think I have anything special here. I have a lot of break effect though. Like, look at these break effect. Well, okay, not. I didn't farm a lot of these for Ranmei, but I have everything else, all the other pieces. I have a good amount of break effect. That's all she really needs. I have 194%, so I think her build's fine. I recently started replacing Natasha, who is my main healer, because she's the only real free one, with Lynx, which I have her at a good 5600 HP and a decent 120 speed. And well, yeah, but her build might be, some of my builds might be kind of weird, especially for the abundance characters, because usually you'd run like a speed boots or like a ERR rope. But the thing is, I also wanted to kind of prove a point as well, to see like how good the recommendation system is. Like, well, it's not really a recommendation system, it's just data based off of recently active players. But I always found it weird that they used just HP everything. Like, it's never gonna be a useless stat, but after switching from speed to HP, it's it's still doable. Like they do way more healing. It's just I was so used to speed because first it generates a lot of skill points and it generates a lot of energy. But again, abundance character, there's not much to say here. I think my Jinglu is pretty okay. I mean, I would want some more crit rate, but I did farm for pieces for a good while, which also means Herta got some scraps, so her build might be okay as well. Yeah, this one is pretty okay. I mean, I really just looked for pieces with like crit rate, crit damage. I wish I had crit rate, crit damage on this piece, so I could. So maybe in the next year or so, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time building like Jinglu or just farming the ice set in general. Because if I'm gonna be pulling ice characters, if they release another ice DPS, I gotta be ready. I would want this with crit rate as well. I actually had to make a crit, or I actually had to make these cloaks with those relic fragments. Because I farmed until my inventory was like full. It was during the time when your inventory was only 1,000 space. Man, can you believe that? We're at like 2,000 now. But out of all of that, I didn't receive a single 5-star crit damage cloak, so I had to make this one. This one's synthetically created. Yeah, her boots. I mean, it's really hard to even just get the main stat in general, but to get that and crit rate, crit damage. But obviously, it could be better. I think just this one has crit rate, crit damage. That one's pretty good. It's just this one doesn't have crit rate, which I would want. But definitely still a lot of potential for my Jinglu, but you know, she already gives herself 50% crit rate, so so technically 80% crit rate with 245 crit damage. I think that's fine. I've recently started farming more planar ornaments for my MC. Because it was an option, because I was looking through guides and stuff, because they didn't have the recommendation system yet. But I did see like some people use Redolent Arena, which is a good like DPS set. I mean, it gives you like free crit rate, but after using it for a while, first thing is, unlike Jinglu, he doesn't get free crit rate. Like 50% is crazy. But also, it's really hard to farm to get to 70%. Like usually people say like 1 to 2, like at least 50% is a good range. Crit rate's pretty important in Star Rail since you don't get many turns, but 70% is a lot. And like I got there eventually. I farmed a lot for this. I got there eventually, but now I'm left with like no crit damage. I think some of these pieces are pretty good because I farmed a lot. So like, yeah, this one has crit rate, crit damage. Like, look at this piece. This one's pretty insane. Like every stat's like usable. Again, crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage. This one at least has crit damage on it, but it only has like 1 roll on it. And then, oh, again, they recommended attack percentage, so I switched from speed to attack percentage, which the physical MC, after using them for a long time, very slow character, just as a base. But yeah, I'm gonna try switching to Space Sealing Station to see how that how that feels. But obviously, I'm not gonna have really good planar ornament sets anyway. So am I really at a loss here? Because like, look at these pieces. There's no crit value on this one, and then, disgusting. Switching over to my Preservation MC. Again, Preservation, there's not much to say about it. I have 4,600 defense. I'll just quickly run through the relics. I mean, this one has a lot of defense. That's really the only stat I really aim for. I don't really need effect hit rate on him, even though the planar ornament would want it. I mean, the taunt's already like 100%. So if I wanted more effect hit rate, I mean, there is a break point of like, I think 167 of like effect hit rate or something, or just like there's just like a break point where you could pretty much, your effect will always land. And I guess hit rate is not completely useless on the MC, because what if you wanted to, like, I don't know, taunt a boss? Ratio's too recent for me, and both these relics are not ones I've ever really farmed for before. So there's nothing on them except for like these inert Sal Soto pieces, which are pretty trash. Natasha is one I've been using for very long now. She has 6,000 HP, but again, in the recommendation system doesn't say speed, so she's insanely slow now. But she's been fine. I mean, I used her and Lynx with no speed boots during the adventuring fight, which was pretty difficult, but I still sustained through most of the content, so it's okay. March, I recently invested a lot of time in. She is at 4,000 defense. Mostly because I have to use free light cones because I am a free free only. I'm the most free to-play person ever, okay? Because I could be using all these other 4-stars, but I don't. But she should have better pieces than my MC. I mainly focus on getting some effect hit rate and defense because I want her to have a freeze build. So I actually have the perfect amount of effect hit rate on her because she currently runs like 65% chance on her freeze. So with 35%, now I have like a base chance of 100%. She really saved my butt in the adventuring fight. Yukong, I don't really. I mean, when she got released, I did use her a good amount because she's the only imaginary character that was given for free. But her kit's a bit weird with like all the whole speed and like the next person that goes in the turn order gets the buffs. It's really weird, but I use her sometimes when I need like imaginary break or something, and it's like a boss enemy. But her build's confusing. Like, she's a harmony character. She doesn't really. She gets like well, no, I don't even know what scaling she has. But the recommendation system, like here, says crit rate, imaginary damage boost, and speed. So I was just like, okay, I guess I'll build her damage because that's what they're recommending me. So now she's kind of like a pseudo damage dealer, even though she's a harmony character. So like she uses musketeer, so I just farm it because when you do the weekly bosses, you just get them anyway. So I just had a lot of pieces saved up. So, you know, crit rate, crit damage, crit rate, crit damage, you know, just a typical DPS build on a support, because why not? I mean, can I really even say if it's like a good or bad build? I mean, I barely use her anyways. Have you seen her usage rate in the last MOC? I even talked about it in a previous video, but she's really good at running. She's really good at running and avoiding invisible enemies. There's not many characters that I still have four-star pieces for, but she is one of them because ERR is very hard to get. Asta I used a lot in the beginning when there weren't many other free characters because she's really good at breaking. And speed is always going to be universally good. She doesn't have anything really special about her. I just use her for the buffs. So like most of the stuff she has on is probably just going to be defensive stats like HP and defense. I think I used to run her a DPS build. That's why I think I have fire damage boost, but now she's running like HP percentage. I don't really need her to do damage, you know. That's just all I'm saying. She just needs to survive and give people speed. Ooh, Ching Chui is one of my favorite free characters. She's really fun. Just like how Adventuring has NRG mechanics. For some reason, any character with like a bit of luck to them in their skill set are surprisingly fun, but it can be frustrating, obviously. This is one of the characters that they did recommend Rudolin Arena for. But again, it's really hard to hit that 70% threshold. And on top of that, she's gonna have no crit damage. But she's still a work in progress. This one's a decent piece. This one's also pretty decent. I wish this one had crit damage. That's probably where I'm missing a lot of crit damage. I would prefer this to have crit rate so that I can hit that 70% threshold. But other than that, yeah. I got crit rate on everything else, but it's still not enough. It's insane. Man, Serval, I have terrible flashbacks of because when I first started playing Star Rail, they really wanted me to be a free-to-play player. So they gave me one of the fastest E6s I've ever gotten out of any game. That's including Genshin, which it took me a while to E6 any character, but this game really wanted me to play Serval. And it doesn't help that they gave you one for free, so I got the other 6 really fast. But she is one of my strongest DPS characters in this game because her ratio's pretty decent. And she is running one of my only 4-star light cones, but I mean, I think most of her pieces have crit rate, crit damage, so she's pretty insane. I like using her a lot. Look at that, 23.9. I didn't even know it was that crazy. It rolled. Oh my god, I rolled all crit stats. That's one of the craziest pieces I've seen. But anyways, that's why we're doing this account review, because I don't even know what pieces I've had and farmed for all this time. Here's Herda. She has a 1-to-1 crit ratio. She pretty much just took the straggler effects from Jinglu, so she's like half, or not even half, like a quarter of what Jinglu is. But she's still an ice character. She still has a place in my heart, you know. She's fun to use. I just wish she was her own kit felt a bit more satisfying to use. But yeah, these are just the stragglers, you know. Some of them might have crit rate, crit damage, but other than that, she's not too insane. And then we have the original, one of the original 4 stars that you get in the game. I enjoyed using him. He does a decent amount of damage, but once you get into the late game, a lot of the waves either have really tanky enemies or just too many small enemies, and as a hunt character, he really struggles. But I have a decent amount of crit rate and some crit damage on him. You know, again, he just gets stragglers from me farming Jinglu's Cavern of Corrosion, which no one else is taking his win pieces. I mean, you see Blade over there. I mean, he's suffering. He's still level 1, but he's got some okay pieces. He's in a good place. But there's not many places in the end game anymore to really use him. Now, I'm just going to quickly go over to the Eidolons to see if I see anything crazy. I think I have a few E6s. Oh yeah, I have E6 March 7th. I don't think this is the most game-breaking thing, but it's nice to have. But really fills in my ice main persona. Asta is also one of those characters that I thought it was either gonna be Serval or Asta, but we got one free Asta, but I got 5 Astas like immediately right after. Oh man, I have a really bad memory of rolling for Ching Chui Eidolons because of that one time I was pulling on Jinglu's banner and she was on there, but I just kept getting Sampo, just Sampo, man. And then he appears in Penacony. He never escapes. They want me to use him. They're punishing me for not picking him in that character selector event thing. Surprisingly, I haven't gotten any more Herdas. I'm pretty sure these are all the free Herdas that you get. That's very surprising. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at this. Alright, look, see, I have 1 Bailu, I have 1 Himiko, right? But why in the heck does a free-to-play... This gotta be illegal. Like, why in the world can a free-to-play person get 3 copies of the same standard character before getting the rest of them? Like, I'm gonna have an E6 well as a free-to-play or something. This is... I mean, he was part of my top 3 standard characters that I wanted in the beginning of the game. But come on, man, leave me alone. I love you, but stop. Oh yeah, the thing about Himiko is that right after I got her from like my beginner banner, I got her light cone on the standard banner. So they really wanted me to play Himiko, but I already established from day 1 that I just use free characters. So this never got leveled, but it looks nice to have it on her. I think this character in itself is the one that causes the most outrage, because you know, surprisingly he would work amazing with Jinglu. I would love to use him with Jinglu, but I can't go against my standards. I can't. But I think that's really it for all my characters and their builds. So because I was only playing free characters, there's actually not a lot of characters that I have to really farm for. Like, I'm not stretched too thin. Even after 1 year, I still haven't gotten to choose my free 5-star voucher yet. And I think I know why, because I'm only 20 off, but like I said, I only really pull for ice characters. And the first one was Jinglu, and we didn't really get one for like 3 or like 4 months in, so I didn't really buy the free wishes from the shop here. Not free, but the wishes on sale here, because I didn't have any Undying Embers to use. So if I did, I think I would have gotten to choose one by now. But originally, if I got it early, I would have chosen Bronya, because Bronya was my #1 standard character that I wanted from the beginning of the game. But since the release of Jinglu, that has long changed, and now Jinglu is my #1 waifu. My top 3 was Bronya, Welt, and Gepard. Now I'm a bit iffy if I want Bronya here or not. So I think in the end, I might just end up choosing Gepard because, well, I know Yanqing's also a nice character, but like, I really don't care about Yanqing. Sorry, but I'm just gonna end up using Gepard. Like, he's a nice character. He has a cool shield. You know, no questions asked. While we're on the topic of wishes, I do want to bring your attention to this Star Rail Station. It's what I use for warp tracker, and there, you know, like there's just something really noteworthy that I wanted to point out. You know, since playing this game, like here I got Himiko. Here's the light cone. I forgot I got Clara's as well, but again with the welts, man. I never lost a 75-25. That's the good news, right? The bad news is that if you look at my featured 5-star characters, I have a 0% win rate for 50-50s. Granted, I only rolled for, well, actually, no. That includes Blade as well, the one I, you know, got like midway through. I've lost every 50-50 the entire year. I have not won a single one, but who knows? Maybe my luck will change around in the coming year. I am at the bottom 6.25%. I am unluckier than 93.7% of users on the rate up. Take that in. Now, there's going to be one more special thing that I want to react to, so stay tuned for that. But before we do that, I want to just take a quick glance at my inventory, because I am one of those people that if you give me a health potion in an RPG, I'm not going to use it until I really, or I'm going to think I'm going to really need it sometime later, and I end up never using it all. But like, there's not many characters for me to build, like I said, so I actually have a big stockpile of EXP, light cone materials, relic materials. I have 98 tracks of destiny. I don't really use them. The only characters I max traces for are the ice characters. So I just have a lot of straggler materials just lying everywhere. Like, look at all these weekly bosses. I farm them. I have not missed a day, and I haven't missed a week. So you could really imagine how many materials I have. And midway through, they made it so that every calyx or every simulated universe that you do, you just get extra material, or you get the enemy drop material. So now I have a huge stockpile of those. And speaking of the calyxes though, if you bring your eyes to the top right, I have almost 50 million credits. And usually when I spend my time farming and I have nothing to farm for, I just default to farming the credits. The credits calyx, but not just any calyx, right? I specifically farm the ones in Belobog because there's a specific material that I always farm for there. And if you look at my resources screen, there's an outlier here, and I have the thing I have most of is solid water. When I said I was an ice main, halfway through the year, I was just like, wait a minute. If I'm a hardcore ice main, why am I not farming solid water? It's literally ice. You can't, please, do not judge my life choices. But for the rest of Star Rail, for the rest of my Star Rail life, I'm just gonna farm solid water. All right, I want to max out that number. I don't know what the max is in Star Rail is. I know Genshin had one, but we'll see. I'm interested to see. There's nothing too special about the light cone here, but there's one little thing I want to say. Like, this is probably the biggest regret that I have in Star Rail, and that this thing will forever be Super Imposition 4. This was part of like Huahua's event, but it was a really long one, and I was just I was just too lazy to finish the event. I wasn't really feeling it. But now I have to live seeing this not be maxed out. But at least I have it, you know. I can't hate that at least I have it. Now these are like the kind of important resources that I collected over the years. Like I I have 70 fuels I haven't used. I'm kind of saving them up. At this point, I might as well wait until I reach 100 and then just spend it all on one character. It'll probably be Jinglu because she's my main. And then I haven't used a single self-modeling resin because I didn't really feel like there wasn't really a need to. I mean, I could just farm for it. I mean, I'm not the most impatient person, so I can afford to wait. And if I really need it, and I feel lazy farming one day for like a new ice character that comes out, then maybe I'll use it. But I think this should be the last thing that on my account, and then we'll go to that special web event. Yeah, it's the cake that you get for your birthday. The great thing is that it's actually really close to my birthday that Star Rail released. So the new cake they're coming out with, I'll get to see early. And not only that, I get to enjoy Robin's album on the same day. Yes, my birthday is May 9th, and that's when Robin's new album gets released. I just noticed my lights turned off. But anyways, this web event I'm talking about, it's called the... Let me see it. Oh yeah, here it is. It's before we end off the video, I just wanted to check this out. It's called the annual Trailblaze report. Genshin did something similar where they're, you know, after a year they just summarize random stats on your account. So I can't wait to see what Star Rail has to say about me. Some of the report content comes as questions, and if you answer them wrong, you'll lose points. I gotta answer questions, but I didn't study. See, that's proof that I played on day one. During the 342 days since joining the Astral Express, you spent 342 days on the front line of adventure. Among these days, you were most active during the time period of afternoon. What is that? September? September was your most active month. Pom-pomus, please. Man, what was in September? I can't even remember. What version was that? Oh, I think I remember now. I think September was when Imbibitor Lune came out in Fushuan, I think. And that's when the Fantilia fight comes out. I don't remember in particular what events were there. I think maybe it was the storyteller one, but I'm not sure. But I guess that's my most active month. I'm not really sure. I would have thought it was the Huahua update. Like I said, I missed the light cone, but I guess that makes sense. I missed it for a reason. Most deployed characters per month, really. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Trailblazer main. Woo, let's go. Free character only. Trailblazer. And then I think it's gonna be Natasha from here on out. This is when I got Natasha in the story probably, and then it's just Natasha. She was the look for a period of time before Lynx came out and she became free too. Natasha was the only healer that I had. So obviously I'm gonna use her in literally everything. Cause like I'm not just gonna use a single preservation character. That's not enough. So yeah. Very fitting. That makes sense. I use Trailblazer, and then it's just Natasha. Among them is your most trusted comrade, having fought alongside you a total of 5,185 times. Your goodwill has linked the stars and paved a new path. It's Natasha. Like, it's Natasha. Bro, Yukong. You put Yukong on there? Yeah, no way. Trailblaze power distribution. Oh, that's an interesting stat that I didn't think I'd see. Yeah, you can see why I have so much money and so many EXP materials. Yeah, that makes sense. Finally, in one battle, you landed a lethal strike that dealt a whopping 820,739 damage. Man, I felt like I could have been able to break 1 million. Maybe I've just been watching whale streamers too much, you know? Where they literally have everything at their disposal. Especially with the release of Acheron. Am I right? During your adventure, you made numerous choices and witnessed their outcomes. In Letter from a Strange Woman, you chose to uphold free will and helped Kafka. I remember that moment. I knew you'd come. Thank you. In Rarely Affectionate Part 2, you decided not to format the little robot. Thank you, big bro. Pascal always misses you. I remember Pascal. In Evanescence, like the Morning Dew, you chose to reveal the identity of the Mars-struck monster to Ling Mu. I wonder where that guy has been burping lately. Okay, that one I don't remember. That one was... I guess it wasn't noteworthy enough, or I just can't really think of the clues to like fully form the image in my head, but okay. In the final part of the Internationals Tournament Festival, after everything settled down, you decided to keep the Warp Trotter. It's quite fun having it follow you on adventures, isn't it? Wait, there was a choice to not keep it? Huh? That's... Oh yeah, I had the option to give it back to Asta. That's right. But why would you do that? Asta already has money. She can buy another one, man. These choices may not affect the path you walk on, but they record the traces of your adventure. At this point in the journey, many companions have gathered on your Trailblaze journey. Even though your paths may differ, you have shared unforgettable adventures together. Keep moving forward without stopping. That's the meaning of Trailblaze. I guess this is pretty much the summary. That's a stat they didn't really show. Most active support character. Jinglu has earned me almost 1 million credits. Thank you, Jinglu. She is my most well-built character, I'd say. Probably because she gives herself free stats. And with that, there is the conclusion to my Honkai Star Rail year. And I can't wait for what's to come next, especially for future ice characters. But I hope you enjoyed, and I really want to try really hard playing this game for the next year and making content for it. So if you want to join me for that, I hope you can stick around and hit that subscribe button and like the video. But until next time, again, happy anniversary, Star Rail. Thank you for all the good times, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.